Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Westcast. So, yeah, that's right. Predictions for Week 2 of the NFL season. So, we're going to start with tomorrow's game. The Washington Commanders traveling to the Green Bay Packers. Oh, yeah. Primetime games have been hidden. Primetime games have been definitely hidden. Yeah, let's see. So the line is 3.5 for the Packers. So over under is 48.5 in the and Packers are minus 180 on the money line. Um, Look, listen, Packers obviously played great. It's a little hard to tell after week one if the Lions are just bad this year because I don't think the Lions' offense is. I don't think Jared Goff played all that bad. Like I know people are saying that it was a dominant win by the Packers. Just I think the Packers defense just stepped up where they needed to go. Parsons, yeah, Parsons. Wow, I mean, okay, that's a little hyperbolic. The run game didn't look the same. The run game clearly didn't look the same. Oh yeah, Jameer Gibbs and Dave Montgomery had like no yards. They think they combined for 50. Like Jameer Gibbs had 10 catches for like 20 yards. Like okay, they're just throwing it behind the line of scrimmage. So I mean, I guess it makes sense why Jared Goff had all those completion rates, but I mean, look, like the Vikings still, not the Vikings, the Lions still look competent-ish. I just Oh yeah, you did okay. You didn't see this guy play. So the Commanders actually have a rookie running back play called Ja'Cory Croskett Merritt. He went for 10 attempts for 82 yards and a touchdown. He get goal line work. Um, he is really fast. He is really fast. He plays way faster than a lot of other people. So yeah, I would say if the Packers defense can hold down the rush, it's definitely going to be because they're trying to force feed the rookie after he had a good game against the Giants. Unclear if the Giants just have a bad rush defense though, or at least a bad outside rushing defense because that's where Ja'Cory got most of his yards. So we'll have to see. I just I just told you, but yeah, um, yeah, yeah, well, and that's also what I'm saying too is that it's a little unclear if the Giants' rush defense was just bad against the outside zone or if it was more so that Ja'Cory just had a good game, which Ja'Cory had a good game, obviously. I would say Jane Daniels or bust is like okay, well, Deebo Samuel had a rushing touchdown, like I don't think it's all Jane Daniels. I mean, he's definitely a key. He's definitely the straw that stirs the drink. Let's not kid ourselves. But he always does two jobs. He does every job. He's a quarterback, and that's kind of the X factor. Is Green Bay's outside rush going to be good against Commanders' outside zone? Because Michael Parsons definitely would make a huge difference in that regard. So, and he's definitely gonna get more snaps. He paid 44% of the snaps, like last game. So he was only on the field half the time, and he only really played till the fourth quarter. So because the Lions were starting to come back a little bit. Like it was 13-27. So clearly like there's some details in there that are going missed because people think the Lions aren't as good as they used to be, but which is fair. But also, I mean, is Ben Johnson also as good as he used to be? I mean, people are starting to get used to his plays too, so we'll have to see. Yeah, that's the key too. Did the Green Bay defense look good against kind of middling, well, not middling talent. The Green Bay's defense looked good against the top tier talent. Like Jared Goff's like one of the top quarterbacks, and Commanders' defense looked good because they're playing against Russ. So that's also going to be a key factor. I think this is going to be a shootout for sure. I think this is going. I'm starting to convince myself that this actually is going to be probably a 50+ point game because I don't think they're going to run many. Like, obviously, Commanders got it. Like, Jacory had a good game against the Giants' rush defense, but I think the Packers are definitely better in that regard, which is kind of funny because, they got rid of Kenny Clark and their rush defense actually is not bad. So, go figure. Let's see. Well, let me look at these injuries here. Let me see what they got. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like they're not. Doesn't really seem like both teams are particularly that beat up. There might be a few players out, but this game's really going to come down to the quarterbacks again. This is just how shootouts work. I think. Yeah, I think that I think Green Bay's got the edge here. So, but I think Green Bay's got the edge pretty comfortably, actually. So, and it's at home. It's at Lambeau. So on Thursday Night Football, I'd say give me the Packers. Let's say, I think it's going to be 31-24. I think the Commanders definitely find a way to stage a late comeback, but it's just not going to be enough. Nice. I think it's going to be whoever can run the football, but we'll have to see. And obviously it's going to be about the quarterbacks, but it's really going to come down to who can successfully keep the game under control. No. I was gonna go to the next game. All right, yeah. Next we have the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. Cleveland's coming off a 1-point loss to the Bengals. Ravens coming off a 1-point loss to the Bills. Two very different franchises in two very different places. Okay, so the Baltimore Ravens are minus 12.5. The over/under is 45.5, and the money line is minus 850 for the Baltimore Ravens. So if you bet $100, you would win what? Like 17, something like that. Like it would be a severe. You would win essentially 85%, or you win 15% in that regard. Yeah. No, I think Dylan Gabriel's probably gonna start before. Dylan Gabriel's probably gonna start because he's ahead of him on the depth chart. I don't think they're gonna just go break depth chart like that. That's so silly. I don't. Yeah, I totally disagree. I think it's gonna be belt to ass. I don't think that the Cleveland Browns have a chance against Baltimore. I really don't. It's just like Baltimore's team. Baltimore as a team is, I mean, they're one of the top teams in the NFL. They just happen to play against another one of the also top teams in the NFL. So, like I happen to disagree about that. I don't think their secondary is particularly that great. Outside Denzel Ward. Yeah, I that Bengals Browns game, I am wholly convinced that the Bengals also aren't a very good football team either. I just don't think they can protect Burrow again. Because I mean, he's still yeah. Because Myles Garrett had 2 sacks on Joe Burrow. Like Browns defense. Well, how many sacks do they have in total? Let me see. On this particular game, it's just they just I mean I don't they still can't protect Burrow. They still can't protect him. And Baltimore's pass rush is still top tier. So Joe Flacco's Josh Allen is what I'm saying. Like yeah, you keep trying to convince yourself the Browns can pull it off. That doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, division round means the Ravens gonna run up the score. So I'd say give me the Ravens. I'm not gonna call him more in this game. Give me the Ravens comfortably. Like I'd say 41 to. We'll give him 10. Yeah, a comfortable over. It's just a comfortable over and comfortable spread because Cleveland sucks. They just there's nothing inspiring about that matchup. Oh, here we go. I like this little part right here. All right, next. Yeah, isn't this nice? You just click the games like that. All right. Next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, yeah, 2 1-0 teams. Not exactly inspiring 1-0 teams, but 2 1-0 teams. Uh, yeah, Jaguars are are dogs by 3.5. Over under is 48.5. Jaguars are plus 142 on the money line as of recording. Yeah, I mean, Jaguars didn't look too bad, man. They did not look bad. I think no, I think that Liam Cohen probably is figuring out the offense. Definitely feeding Travis Etienne. I mean, precipitously. I mean, like Travis Etienne at 143 rushing yards. He was. I mean, he looked like Etienne at Clemson. He looked like Bucky Irving in that role. He looked like he played the Bucky Irving role for Jacksonville, which is, that's clearly to Jacksonville's advantage to actually start their most talented running back, which is good. I mean, Tank Bixby was good. Tank Bixby was good in spurts, but he got traded. So that's how good. That's how much they believe in ETN. And they like. I think they're like Tootin down there. But I can't pronounce his first name. I'm not gonna try. So I was saying the last name. Last name is Tootin. And not. I would say probably nowhere outside of just resetting Trey Hendrickson maybe. Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, I really think the Jaguars are. That's what I'm saying. Like people were making fun of Liam Cohen, but it's like I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's had like a Sirianni type run where like people were thinking that he's kind of stupid, but no, he's not. He's very smart. He's very smart. On the defense. Yeah, yeah, dude. These stats are okay. Let me give you a few stats. Let me give you a few stats. Yeah, that'd be a pretty sick matchup. I think could actually get that to happen. But I don't know. Maybe they won't let him like line up against Jamar Chase. Maybe they'll have him take like. Well, I don't think they'll have him take T Higgins. That's a big size disadvantage. Anyway, I stop stepping on me now. He's starting to do that again. Like I'm going. And he's just like, oh well. What about the Bengals? All right. So the Jaguars use motion on 68.3% of their snaps in the Week 1 opener. That's pretty good. I gotta lie, like if you wanted to have a successful offense in the NFL now, you gotta have motions like built into the offense, like just straight up. So I'm very encouraged by the Jaguars looking pretty confident against the Panthers. I mean, granted, it was the Panthers, but look, listen, I also don't think the Panthers are actually that bad. I think they looked bad against a good team, and I think the Jaguars actually are they're not a bad team. They played really good football on Sunday. So, I mean, they had that long weather delay, so I guess most people kind of tuned out, and I even tuned out too. But I was watching some of the game, and it was not gonna lie, it wasn't too bad. I will say that Bengals defense. I mean, they're putting up good stats on defense, but I don't really know if that was because it was Joe Flacco or maybe they get more exploited. There's a more explosive offense like the Jags or Jags using more motion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know why the Bengals are favored in this. To be frank, I think. Well, yeah, and their explosive play rate was lower, so it's like, okay, they're not even trying to throw these footballs down the field. Like they're not even trying the explosive route. Yeah, what's your score? I'm gonna say the Jaguars win 27-20. I'm like in the 7 split here. All right, next game we have the New York Football Giants traveling to the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I know, right? What? I love how they're the 16th seed in the NFC because they're the first losers. uh, well. Had this matchup been in the 2016 version of this, not gonna lie, we'd be pretty excited to watch, especially because this game would probably be on Sunday Night Football. But yeah, let's just say that the wheels of fate haven't been too kind to both these franchises now. Well, and one was self-inflicted by trading their best player. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to feel bad for Mr. Jerry Jones when you trade your best player away for nonsense. I mean, obviously that was total nonsense. Anyway, really. They only lost because they played against the Eagles. That doesn't matter much. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think if they especially, I don't think we're gonna see Jackson Dart sighting this game, but I think if they start like getting killed again in this game, I think they're just gonna pull Russ. He might get cut. Yeah, they might cut him. I think they're just gonna just be like, all right, enough's enough. I can't believe he's still on the Broncos payroll. I guess that's still so wild. What a flame out, man! What a flame out. Is that due to no Jalen Carter though? Yeah. Anyway, I think no Jalen Carter probably meant that Javonte Williams was probably going to get a little more loose. But definitely Dallas's offense and their defense still looked competent against the Eagles. It's more so that I think that they're probably not as much like. Well, they have the Amarian Overshown, or is it Demarian Overshown? I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, but Overshown. I mean, he's turns out might actually be that kind of replacement for Micah. And Kenny Clark had a good game too. So, and obviously, like they were trying to pay their secondary, like Trayvon Diggs and Deron Williams got paid. So it's like I think they're trying to build out the secondary and maybe not focus so many resources on the front seven, which I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. I think Dallas is misreading the NFL right now, and they're thinking that oh okay we need to go defend the pass more instead of we need to defend the rush more, which I think the NFL's slowly turning more back into a rushing league because people understand that the biggest enemy you face is the clock. Because moving the football down the field is really all just about exploiting matchups. That's it. That's it. And then you beat the clock. How do you beat Josh Allen? How do you beat Lamar? You beat the clock. You score more points in a short amount of time. Yeah, you need to flavor your drives too. So it's like if you had a few quick strike drives just to build a lead, and then one drive you're just like, all right, we're just gonna take the ball for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that. If we can take up the whole quarter, let's do that. Because that's how the Niners won all those games. They just built a huge lead and then they just ran the ball out and they just they just take the air out of the stadium when you do that. I think and for Dallas, I think that's probably the way that they win. Is they need to start. Well, CeeDee Lamb needs to catch the football. That's for sure. Like, yeah, that's for sure. Well, it wasn't the whole reason that they lost, but I mean, it was like when it was down to it, and they could have scored a touchdown to win the game. CeeDee Lamb fumbled. Like that was bad. That was a bad performance. So he needs to, you know. Anyway, yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, obviously, CeeDee Lamb's been a high performer for his entire career, so he'll step up, or he'll just perform better earlier. I think that's the end of it up there. Yeah, I got the Cowboys winning it, but I don't think it's going to be inspiring. I think it's probably going to be close to that Commander score, so I'm going to say it's going to be 20. I'll give them 24 to. I'll give the Giants a touchdown, so I'll say 24 to 13. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's bleak for Giants. I mean, they need to start Jackson Dart immediately. They need to start getting him snaps. And the Cowboys, I don't think the Cowboys are bad. I just don't think the way that they win is going to be blowouts. And again, I think that they're misreading the NFL. I think that they're putting more resources into a trend that isn't becoming a trend. I think they're misreading it. Anyway. Next we have the Chicago Bears traveling to the Detroit Lions. NFC North battle of 0-1 teams. Yeah, because is the Ben Johnson revenge tour going to be more beneficial, or is it going to be more so that the Lions are just not as bad a team as people are burying them? Well, last year I would say that, despite the fact that the Bears lost the game, if they would just had a little bit better clock management, they were still in it. They're still in it to the very end. It really came down to that last drive and Caleb Williams blowing a 55-second chunk of time. So I don't think that this matchup is as separated as it seems. It seems that both teams are probably. I think that one team is trying to ascend, and then one team is starting to come down from that 15-2 win. So it's kind of gonna bottom out in that even level, that even playing field, the equilibrium. So, I just think that it's probably more so that Lions probably have more to play for. They feel like, and I think this is going to be more of a this is going to be more of a Dan Campbell rallying the troops kind of win instead of Ben Johnson being cold and calculated and slicing up the Detroit Lions defense. Even though I would say Ben Johnson definitely knows more about the Detroit Lions defense than the coordinator for the Detroit Lions. I don't even know the coordinator. I'm sorry, but whatever. I think you didn't win last week. I'm sorry. It's just it's a little. That Green Bay loss was very concerning. That should be very concerning for Detroit Lions. Yeah, they couldn't run the football at all. It's okay. I think that I'm sorry. I'm looking up the Lions defense. I'll look up the Lions defense. Oh, Kelvin Shepard. Okay, I was looking up the Lions defense coordinator. Uh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They hired in house, and Ben Johnson's been around that guy probably a lot. So, yeah, I'm thinking that the I think that the spread's too much. So, Bears Lions are favored by 5.5 in this game. Oh, okay. So, and also, I'm sorry, I didn't say for the Dallas game. Dallas is minus 5.5. Yes, hammer that. Like, just absolutely hammer it. Like, no reason not to hammer that. I think the Lions pull it out, but I don't think they beat the spread. I'd say I'm going to take the Lions. I think I'm going to take them 24-21. Because I'm still not sold on the Bears' clock management, and I think their ceiling is probably going to be 20 points. I don't see them as a team that blows people out. Maybe later in the season, once they start figuring out the offense a little bit better, once they start gelling a little bit more, maybe they'll start blowing teams out. I just don't think the Bears are that kind of team right now. And the defense, I think, overperformed against the rookie that was kind of flailing for a little bit. All right. Next game we have the New England Patriots traveling to the Miami Dolphins. Miami's favored by 1.5. That's a little surprising to me. New England historically has not played well against the Dolphins at Miami, but I mean, look, let's face it, the stats are a little skewed. That was Tom Brady, so the stats are a little skewed because it's more so that it's like it's maybe Brady just didn't play well. Well, I guess he didn't play well in Miami, and then he started playing well like later in his career. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know why the Dolphins are favored in this game, man. The Dolphins just they didn't look good at all. They didn't look good at all, and it seems like it's more so that the Colts were just taking advantage of a bad situation instead of. And this New England team is going to be physical. The Raiders' loss shouldn't be disconcerting at all to Patriots fans, I don't think. Because, look, I think the Raiders are actually a solid team. I think Pete Carroll's got them very dialed in, and they execute well. Like obviously, like the Trey Tucker touchdown when he was just going across the field, it's like okay, that route was set up like perfectly by the head coach. That's what you do. Like that's sound execution. Obviously, I think Brady's had an influence on that organization, and I think them playing against the Patriots was. I mean, that was a key sign to say like, okay, maybe the Patriots actually aren't really this bad. Maybe they actually can pull out victories like pretty consistently. And also, it was raining. Like, it was a rain game. Yeah, I'm not sold Miami at all. Yeah, like I wouldn't be shocked because of his contract, but I'm looking at all these stats. It's just it screams. This screams Drake May explosion game. It just absolutely just screams Drake May goes off for like 3 touchdowns. So I'm gonna say give me the Patriots, and I think it's gonna probably be a 31-17 type of game. I think the Dolphins' offense still is competent, Yeah, well, I think they got rid of Johnny Smith, and I think that really capped their upside because he obviously opened up the entire playbook for them to run, and they're just like, all right, we're just gonna trade him. It's like, why, why? Are we trying to win here? Or are we trying to not? Like, what are we doing in Miami? Like, come on. What? Okay, you're way low on the Dolphins. Yeah, I would say take the over for this one simply because I think Drake May is going to erupt. Yeah. All right, next we have the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the New Orleans Saints. One team looked, I mean, resilient on the road. I'll say the Niners looked resilient. They didn't look stellar. Christian McCaffrey looked better. I mean, it's good to see him on the field at least. They are suffering a few key injuries. They have Kittle hurt. They got. I mean, obviously it wasn't reported that he was injured, but I mean, you injure your hamstring. It's like, okay, that's a soft tissue injury. That's going to play a factor. Yeah, he was. They're going to give him more carries. I think the Vikings made a very sound decision by getting him. And that was a very savvy decision because, like, look, McCaffrey can carry the load, but you definitely need to start lighting his snaps a little bit. Like, he should not be playing that. He shouldn't be playing that many snaps in week one. That's for sure. It's like, really. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want you to just keep talking yourself into this, into taking the Saints. Just do it. Just do it. Just take the Saints. So you're taking the Saints? Okay. Well, what's the score? I am going to take the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm going to take them 30-10. Not confident in the Saints' offense at all. Not at all. I would say it is a tight under because 30-10 is. I mean, that's the over under is 42.5. So I'd say tight under. It's San Francisco's gonna roll, dude. Like they're gonna roll. I don't trust Kellen Moore's offense against the San Francisco 49ers defense because we've seen Kellen Moore operate against the 49ers defense, and guess what? The Dallas got blown out. So, and I was with a much better Dallas team. So, yeah, give me the Niners up big against the New Orleans Saints. All right, now we have the Buffalo Bills traveling to the New York Football Giants. Yeah. Buffalo Bills are built to ass team. They're the built to ass team here. It's it, yeah, there's just I mean, if you check all these stats, I mean it's just all Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. I would say like any defensive stats right now. Well, obviously like it's week one, so they only have 1 week of stats, and Buffalo played against one of the best teams in the league, and they beat one of the best teams in the league by literally the last second. So I don't know, man. Buffalo just gives me Team of Destiny vibes this year for whatever reason. I feel like where people were taking the Chiefs because it's like, oh, okay, they're destined to go to the Super Bowl again. It's like I feel like that kind of got snapped in the Super Bowl. If you believe in those superstitious kind of like freaking healing crystal stuff, I don't believe in that stuff. I believe in stats, and Buffalo's stats just look insane. I mean, obviously that fourth quarter was crazy. Like, yeah, like Josh Allen was white hot at the end of that game. I would say and also I just don't think the Jets defense could do anything against Josh Allen. I'm not gonna lie, like he's ascended to that, like, all right, like he's not gonna turn the ball over, he's not gonna throw interceptions. If he doesn't see anything he likes, he's just gonna run the football. Like he's got the answer to the test now. It's just I mean, this is year 7 for him, man. Like he's like and Lamar just they play like obviously the best quarterbacks just they don't throw picks, they don't turn the ball over, and that's what the Jets would need here. So what will be your score? That's a good score. I'm gonna take the Bills. I always cap their upside, so I would say this feels like more like a 38 to God, I want to say like 15, 38-15. I think it's still over, but mostly because it's Buffalo doing the work. All right, next we have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, this is gonna be a good game, I think. Seattle's defense didn't. I mean, they played great against Brock Purdy, but that was at home, and on the road against a Steelers team that's thinking that they're going to the Super Bowl after they dropped 34 for the first time in like 10 years, which is kind of wild. That's wild that they just haven't scored that many points. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Steelers defense didn't play particularly great against the Jets, but I think that's more of just a case that Justin Fields kind of. I mean, it was a revenge game for Justin Fields, so I guess he was still kind of motivated by that. And obviously, like, you know, everybody was still kind of motivated against Rodgers. But, yeah, I mean, obviously the Steelers pulled out, went out. I just think that Rodgers is all the way back. He looks like he's back to, like, MVP form. Kenneth Walker. Well, they have Cooper Kupp, but I guess then I just have a good game plan against them. Yeah, I might have been a lateral move, man. Honestly, like Sam Darnold, like it might have been a lateral move slightly down from Geno. I think they probably should have kept Geno. I think that's what we're learning is that they probably should have just stuck with Geno. Because yeah, it's not looking very peachy keen for the Seattle Seahawks, especially falling behind in that division's like the Rams and the Niners winning. It's like this game is a whole nother sense of urgency for the Seahawks. Whereas I think the Steelers, I mean, Steelers are a very veteran team, like massively veteran team. So, and I think that they've just gelled better together, and I think the Seahawks are still kind of the upstarts because I mean they still have second year head coach, like first year QB at that position. I mean the only veterans there are still mostly on the defense. Like the offensive line's still trying to gel. It feels like Pittsburgh's just they're playing more unified right now. So I'd say give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'd say it's going to be. I'll say this is going to be a 27-17 type of game. Yeah, I'd say. Wait, okay, so 7. Yeah, I'd say the over/under is 40.5. I'd say probably take the over here because I just don't think Seattle's defense is going to be able to stop Rod. That was something. I mean, watching Rodgers just drop darts like that, it really it's like I mean, look in Baltimore losing like that, it's like the North's open. Like the only other 1-0 team in the North is the Bengals, and they barely beat the Browns. So it's like the lane's open for the Steelers to take it. They just got to beat the Ravens. That's their one hope is that if they beat the Ravens, they could probably lock up that division, which would be shocking. That would be shocking if the Ravens didn't win that. Ravens don't win that division. All right. Anyway, next we have the Los Angeles Rams traveling to the Tennessee Titans. Not so fast, my friend. Yeah, not so fast, my friend. I think that let me just be clear. I think the Rams are going to win this game. I'm still liking what I saw out of Cam Ward against a great defense, because despite the fact that it was a 12-20 game, like that point differential could have swung either way, because Cam Ward played well. Like he really did play well. If he didn't have a few receivers drop the ball, if he didn't make a few bad reads, like we're talking about the Tennessee Titans upsetting the Broncos in Week 1. Like he was close. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is year one of a new regime, so that's how you have to think about it. This feels like such a trap game for the Rams, though. Like this feels like a comfortable under. I think 41 points is way too many, but I like both defenses. Both defenses are probably going to show out. Is the Titans defense good enough to beat a veteran quarterback yet? Not entirely convinced of that. Are they better than the Texans defense? I think you could probably make the argument right now. I'd say that the Rams defense is definitely better than Cam Ward and the Titans offense right now. So I'd say give me the Rams. I think it's gonna be a slugfest though. Like I think if the Texas game didn't show us anything, I think the Texas game showed us that Rams are gonna start winning tight games and low scoring games. I don't think the Rams are gonna blow anybody out anymore. So I'm gonna say give me the Rams. I'm gonna say 17-10. 27. Oh, they think they're going to score that many points against the Titans. It's surprising. Jeffrey Simmons. That's all I heard. I can think of immediately. Yeah, I haven't really looked up their roster, but they played well against Denver, so I have to give them that respect. All right. We can talk about them in a minute. All right, next we have the 1 o'clock slate of Sunday night, or Sunday night, 1 o'clock slate of Sunday night. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 1 a.m. dude. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. All right, next we have the Carolina Panthers traveling to the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, battle of stature here. So, look, listen, Carolina. Look, obviously they scored 10 points. Obviously, like, they didn't look great against the Jaguars. Probably should look better. I actually think that Carolina isn't as bad as people are saying, as people are thinking that they are, and I think Arizona Cardinals are worse than people are thinking that they are. Because I mean, obviously, I think Arizona got the win. Obviously, like they beat the Saints, but I think the Saints are the worst team in the league. I think the Jaguars are one of the best teams in the South. So, and the Panthers only lost. I mean, they lost by 16. Like it wasn't like it was. I mean, they weren't getting boat raced, and there was a few. And Carolina had a few chances to come back. I think Ted McMillan needs to have way more targets though. Like they need to give him the ball because he was getting wide open against Jaguars. I just think the Cardinals they played. Obviously, like you're gonna see all these advantages here on the screen, but look, they played against a bad team. Like they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and Cardinals played against I think a rather solid team. So, I think it's good. I mean, Cardinals at home though, like Carolina's had two road games back to back. So. Yeah, I just think that. Yeah, it's look, every stat saying that this is going to be a Cardinals drubbing, but it's hard to quantify those stats against a bad team like the Saints. Whereas I think Carolina actually is a rather solid team. I don't. Yeah, I know. They're minus 6.5 because they're hosting a team that's been on the road twice. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Cardinals, but I'm just saying I don't think it's gonna be as bad as people think it's gonna be. I don't. Well, with 6.5 points, is saying that this could be a 10-point loss for the Cardinals or for the Panthers. I don't think they're 10 points bad. I don't think the Cardinals are that substantially better. So I'd say give me the Cardinals to win, but I'd say it's still uncomfortable for them. So I'd say Cardinals repeat the score last week of 20 points, and I think the Panthers get 17. So Cardinals 27-17. Panthers challenged late though. Oh, okay. You think you're just gonna blow them out then, huh? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, next. Oh yeah, dude. Last season. Oh, I called tie. No team tied last season. It's like, come on. All right. Next we have the. Okay. All right. We'll just go chalk. Next we have my Denver Broncos traveling to the Indianapolis Colts. Colts obviously absolutely destroyed the Dolphins last week, 33-8. Broncos didn't play up to what their preseason expectations were. Colts looking like their defense looking really good against the Miami Dolphins. Broncos offense looked pedestrian against the Titans to be, yeah, sluggish, pedestrian to call a spade a spade. Obviously Broncos defense is probably better than the Colts offense for sure. Obviously that Broncos defense is what's keeping us afloat currently, but I think I saw signs of the Broncos offense really breaking out. Obviously, I'm not going to pick against the Broncos. I think them being favored by 2.5 actually, this game should be a pick 'em. To be frank, this game should absolutely be a pick 'em. I think the Colts, obviously, two home hosting two back-to-back home games. Like I think that plays to the Colts' advantage. Uh, I don't really know about Danny Dimes. I think he just looked good against a kind of wounded Dolphins team. Whereas I feel like Bo Nix is definitely going to come in there trying to win. Oh, okay. What's the score? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's definitely a concerning game for me, for sure, especially seeing how well the Colts played. I Yeah, but yeah, Bo Nix isn't Tua. Bo Nix just isn't Tua. Like Bo Nix will run the football. Bo Nix you'll get out of the pocket. I think Tennessee's defense played a lot better than a lot of people expected them to do. The big key matchup I think here is going to be what Tyler Warren does on the field because, like, look, if Tyler Warren gets loose for like a few like 10 targets or something like that, I think we're gonna have a major problem. Denver had a big problem against Brock Bowers last season, so a big tight end that could catch is definitely going to be an issue. I just think that Broncos could pull this out, man. I just think the Broncos are a very tough team, and I don't think the Colts. I think if Nick Benino and that pass rush could get home against Danny Dimes, I think Danny Dimes reverts back to Giants Danny Dimes. Again, it's going to be Daniel Jones. It's like Daniel Jones just playing with that confidence and swagger, or is he just going to melt when he faces a quality defense? Because I think that, I mean, obviously, clearly the Dolphins defense is just getting short field after short field after short field. So it's hard to tell if the Colts offense is good because they just keep getting short fields and turnovers against the bad Miami offense, or is the Broncos just gonna light them up? I think the Broncos have a chance to light them up. I don't know. I don't think the Colts defense is all that. So give me the Broncos. I think check this out. I think it's gonna be the Broncos 23 to Colts 17. Oh wow. Oh, you think the Broncos win? Oh, okay. Yeah, you motherfucker. All right. Next we have. Yeah, of course. You picking against my team as always, per usual. So I'll take the Broncos comfortable under 42.5 comfortable under. Yeah, that's under. Yeah, that's under. Yeah. Okay, that's 40 points total. All right. Next we have the Super Bowl rematch. Philadelphia is traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs. Philadelphia is favored by 1.5 points against Kansas City at home. I do not like Kansas City being home underdogs. That should I think that's going to irritate their star talent. And look, listen, man, I don't want to pick the Chiefs, but look, all my stats are saying take the Chiefs. I know they're biased, but like, look, listen, like, I guess the Chargers, like, Chiefs still got open, like, the Chiefs still found a way to make that game uncomfortable for the Chargers late. So, yeah, for the most part, but they definitely lost a few of their edge rotation. So, I mean, clearly, yeah, man, but look, listen, like, the Chiefs also still made the Super Bowl. Like, they still have the roster to make a Super Bowl. Yeah, and obviously, like, the Chiefs are still very depleted at receiver now, and losing Xavier Worthy definitely doesn't play into the Chiefs' favor. I would say that if if Saquon Barkley could get open like he did in the Super Bowl, like, it's game over. Like if they could run the football against the Chiefs front, which, I mean, obviously Chris Jones didn't look great against Joe Alt. Like, but I mean, Joe Alt makes people not look great against them, so. I don't know, man. I don't. I would if you're a betting person on this game, I'd say stay away. I'd say probably take the over, and I would say stay away from the spread because I really don't know who's going to win this game. I would say just take the Chiefs because it's plus 1.5. You get the hook, but I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I'd say so. Give me the Eagles. I'd say the Eagles win late. I'd say late field goal. I'd say 37-34. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think this is a big touchdown prop game. I'd say probably Jalen Hurts prop touchdown. I'd say Saquon Barkley touchdown. I'd say Kelsey touchdown. I'd say, who else would I take? I'd say Pacheco scores a touchdown, even though he looked bad. I'm not gonna lie, he looked terrible. He looked terrible. I regret drafting him in fantasy, but oh my god, I was like, I still think the Chiefs still find a way to put 34 on the board, but I don't think they win late. I think the Eagles find a way to win late. All right, next we have, this game. Okay, it's Sunday Night Football. We have the Atlanta Falcons traveling to the Minnesota Vikings. So this actually is a surprisingly, shockingly good matchup. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how these two quarterbacks perform at prime time. Let's see. So we have Michael Penix Jr. versus J.J. McCarthy at J.J. McCarthy's place. McCarthy looked terrible for 3 quarters, and then fourth quarter he looked like he was Tom Brady. That's how it is. That's just how he played against the Bears. Whereas Michael Penix late, he struggled late. I'm not gonna lie. He definitely was getting a little gun shy towards the end, or he's just overthrowing people. So I say Penix mechanics still just aren't completely aligned yet. Whereas I feel like McCarthy was doing dots late in the game. I mean, he was. I mean, that throw to Aaron Jones was on a rope. Like that was, like it looked like he placed the ball in his hands. Like it was. And McCarthy showed some rushing ability. I don't really like him rushing that much though, because he's a very frail, like slender frame. So, and not so much like Lamar. Like Lamar's like built, whereas like McCarthy's still. I mean, he's young. He's 22. So. What? Grady Jarrett is not a Falcons star. No. I have no idea. Thinking Jesse Bates? No, that's not who you're thinking of, buddy. Come on, don't do that. Is he on the Falcons? Oh, no. I'm not personally a Falcons fan. I go well, and also like I go more off their offense because I don't feel like the defense is particularly that outstanding. Let's get let's get let's get a defensive showing. All right, so let's get the defense because I feel like that's not fair. To be like, all right, well maybe the Falcons defense is we don't know their name, so we're just gonna overshadow them. Well, I don't know. Okay, so we're on the NFL Pro app and it's kind of bugged, so we can't really look at a depth chart or anything like that. Yeah, you can see there. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, they have Leonard Floyd, Mike Hughes. Yeah, Mike Hughes, whatever his name is. Mike Hughes. What? Yeah, whereas Vikings have they have Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, Eric Wilson. I guess guys. I mean, Eric Wilson was out because Blake Cashman was out, but. Yeah, Brian Flores. I mean, he's a great defensive coordinator, man. He really knows how to call defense. And the Vikings, there's running a different offense than everybody, or a different defense than everybody else right now. Nobody's really running what they're running. So. Yeah, I like offensive guys as your head coach, especially since the idea should be to try and score as many points as possible, and the defense should just be. I think the defense should just be completely separate. You should have an offensive head coach and then a defensive like guru. That's what the Eagles did. They got Vic Fangio. It's like, oh, well, there you go. And solve most of your problems. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, and I like what I saw out of McCarthy. The fact that they were getting blown out and then they turned a blowout into a convincing victory is, yeah, a convincing one too. It's like, oh wow, okay, Kevin O'Connell's one of the best in the league. Like it's just, the head coaching matchup here. I know Raheem Morris and Kevin O'Connell probably, I mean they're on the same staff. I want to say, maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't on the Rams at the same time. But Kevin O'Connell has just proven himself like he's fantastic. So I'd say, give me the Vikings. I think 27 is a good. I think 27 is a good benchmark for them. So I'd say give me the Vikings 24 to the Falcons 17. Solid scores. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I think the Vikings win. So I would lean more Vikings spread on that one. All right. Next we have the first of the Monday night doubleheader. At least they space these games out so that way you're not watching two games at the same time. Yeah, thank God. At least they're not doing that. But that's 10 o'clock Eastern. It's wild. I guess it's West Coast, the two West Coast teams anyway. So who cares? They weren't going to watch that game anyway. All right, next we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to the Houston Texans. Yeah. The fact that the Texans are favored in this game doesn't strike much confidence in me. I think the Buccaneers are playing much better right now. They scored 9 points. Texas scored 9 points. Yeah, Mecca Puka looked nice. Yeah, he plays well against pressure. It's just whenever teams lay off and they play coverage, he just doesn't play well. Well, yeah, not even that. It's mostly just the receiving core behind Nico Collins outperform Nico Collins, but it's also like it's just a bunch of guys. Like I mean, I know they have like a lot of young players, so there's a lot of unproven talent like Jaden Higgins. But like, look, if Nico Collins is gonna get paid like an X receiver, he needs to play like an X receiver. Like he did not play well against the Rams, but also is it more so that the Rams just have a really stellar defense? I'm starting to believe that. Meanwhile, I feel like the Bucks played a complete game against the Falcons. I like obviously like they were down late. Found Baker just found a way to make throw it to Emeka Buko, just an absolute rainbow. I mean, you couldn't throw that, you couldn't place that ball any better for Emeka Buka. And the Bucks just have weapons, man. Like it's gonna be hard for the Texans to match up against them. I think Texans have a solid defense. It's just I don't know if they're built to beat a team like the Bucks. So with that being said, give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm gonna say it might be a repeat of last week's score. To be honest, it might be one of those rare repeats. I'd say 23-20 Bucks. I think late field goal kick to win the game. I just don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this game might be better, but I don't know, man. Texas offense just it doesn't look like it's the same. And Stroud just needs to play better against no pressure. That's just no question about that. He needs to play better when it's just chalk. All right, next we have the final game of the slate. We have the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to the Las Vegas Raiders for the second portion of the Monday Night Football matchups. You know, as from an unbiased perspective, from just a football perspective, Raiders play good against the Patriots. That's a hard stadium to play at, and yeah, and I mean, well, in the rain too. Gino looked good, dude. Like Gino looked good. Now I will give the Chargers their flowers too. Herbert played really good too. So it's gonna be a little challenging to say that. I think this is going to be. Well, I think 46.5. That's not nearly enough. I think this is going to be a super high scoring game. I think GNT has his coming out party. Like I think that the Chargers rushing defense is a little suspect. At controlling the quarterback scramble, like Mahomes was just running. Like there was canyons where he was just running. And Gino likes to run the football. No, Gino will run it. So I think if they don't contain the scrambles, like I think the Raiders' offense could still get home. I think that if we're gonna call what the score is gonna be, I'd say I don't know. This one's a coin flip for me, man. I really don't know who's gonna win this game. Yeah, of course it isn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the NFC West rematch, yeah. I think this game's going to be an absolute shootout. And this game's going to really come down to who has the ball last. And it's going to come down to... I think Chargers get the ball last. So, but I think the defense was horrible. So I'm going to say 38-35 Chargers. Don't bet on this game unless it's the over. Because I think the Raiders defense looked better against a worse offense than the Chargers showed us in Week 1. Because I mean, like look, I have to admit, like Herbert looked good, and he looked like he was a little bit more settled down, more so than I think that he has been in years past. So, yeah, I'd say Chargers, but not very comfortably. And also, I mean, it is at Allegiant though, so it's like I think this I could easily flip flop on this game. Like I think the Raiders can win like by like a field goal. I think the Chargers can win by a field goal. Like this one's really 50-50 for me. All right, folks. Well, that's our predictions for Week 2 of the NFL season. We'll see you next week when we recap Week 2 of the NFL. See you later, folks.